But first thing is first, we've of course got the dollar. So it looks like the dollar is still holding that strength from the past few days. And I'm favoring that to continue. I am looking at a retest of 105.5. I'll also probably keep an eye on this low here as well. That is the support level we had just before we broke through and saw all of that momentum. Never had a retest of that level either. So if price was to get there, I would say there's a good chance we do see at least a bit of a reaction. So in for the USD, I am still pretty bullish in this one, kind of short, medium term. At the moment, we're still really corrective, so nothing too fantastic. It's not like price is ripping to the upside, but we did form a really nice level bottom here. I mean, of course, we did break through some structure as well, taking out some highs there. So we are seeing some consistent high lows. It's just very, very corrective, so it doesn't give me too much. It doesn't give me too much of a sign that price is really reversing for the dollar. At the moment, it just looks like price is having another pullback for perhaps another move to the downside. So still looking at higher prices. We're kind of still dancing around 104.5, but it's not clean. We did break above it a couple of days back as well. And I just want price to pull back a lot more before I do start shorting, especially when we are so corrective and we're kind of forming this kind of rounded bottom here as well, which is typically a reversal pattern and does actually perform pretty well. So naturally, I'm expecting price to break high there for the dollar and 105.5, retesting that support level in the daily chart. I think it would be a nice place to potentially look for some sells. Of course, we have to see how price gets there, how we react before judging anything. But still looking for a bit more upside in dollar and then some sells. Euro, pretty much the exact opposite of that. Of course, Euro had this lovely bowl-shaped pattern here as well on the daily chart. Price went from looking very bearish to starting becoming a lot more corrective and then forming some equal lows. Then went through some higher lows, and of course we had that explosion to the upside, and we have left behind some really nice levels for retest. I like the high over here at 1.06, and I also like the level here as well at 1.05. Again, if you can retest either of them, I'll be looking for a bounce. Possibly back to the swing high. There is a good chance we could push all the way back to 1.095. But of course, we'll make that kind of decision closer to when the trade is actually forming. There might be some other levels that I might look to target. But yeah, so far, EURUSD is actually very corrective on the way down. I was expecting price to kind of break to the upside, maybe give us another lower high on the 4-hour chart and then fall. And that still could be a possibility because price is so corrective. Yeah, not too sure if we'll keep up being so corrective all the way down. I feel like we either pick up the pace or we might see a push up first before we do come down, because the market is looking very tired on its bearish journey here. But in terms of the analysis for Euro, clean break to the upside. We've got a bit tired now, so looking for a bit of retracement and then looking for a higher low to take price back to the highs. And those two levels would be my area of interest. In terms of pound USD, same thing pretty much with this one as well. Altogether, looks like price is really tight over here. Again, kind of like a rounded top here as well. So again, a very common pattern which does resemble highs normally or lows in the market, and you would expect at least a retracement from that. Not necessarily a reversal every time, but at least a retracement. And during the morning as well, prices had a few attempts trying to break through some resistance here, and at the moment it's not looking too good. So naturally, pound USD to me looks like we could probably have a bit of a move to the downside as well. Hourly chart showing a lot of attempts trying to break through resistance here at 1.297. Big attempt there, a few more attempts this morning. I do think price can probably have a bit of a fall, especially if DXY does see some upside, and I've been looking for price to fall as well. 1.28 down here looks like a solid level of prior resistance on the daily chart, which now hopefully can be used as support. And also this area here as well, 1.27, solid resistance, really nice breakout. Would love to see price come back and retest that. Look for some long opportunities to try and take price higher. So pound USD, my analysis pretty much mirrors EURUSD pretty much. Just looking for pullbacks, waiting for price to come to me before I do look for any long opportunities. If we go over to dollar CAD, so I believe this one's still holding on to support. Yeah, so we've got support here on the daily chart, which is doing a pretty good job at holding price. I've been looking for price to break through this, but yeah, it's been very, very stubborn. We've had quite a few attempts trying to break through now. We've got one over there, big piercing wick, price turn around. Nice wick there, price turn around. Again, nice piercing wick through the zone, price did turn around there as well. So this to me looks like support is holding very well on the daily chart, and there's been no kind of clear signs on the daily of a breakout. Of course, on the 4-hour time frame, we did see price just about close below, but then when you see the daily time frame just provide a wick, that's a bit of a big red flag there. Especially when you see a breakout on the lower time frame and the higher time frame just provides a wick. Most of the time it's just a fake out, and price is likely to turn around. And it looks like dollar CAD is doing exactly that. So we do have some resistance up here. I wonder if price is going to push back towards that area, because effectively dollar CAD has just been ranging between these two levels for a while, minus these two massive fake outs, 1 and 2. Price has just been comfortably inside this range. So now that we're respecting the low of support, potentially we might see a bit of a swing to the upside. And again, if dollar's going to be strong as well, that should really help out USD CAD to the upside. So yeah, very, very bullish on dollar CAD, expecting a bit of a swing there. I do think the bigger move is still short, but until we kind of get a break of the support level, so as I've been saying, until we get something like this or something like this, you know, I'm very much staying away from dollar CAD for now. And in terms of Aussie dollar, very, very flat this week. If I go to the weekly candle, yeah, slightly bullish. Not really much to report on this week for Aussie dollar. Again, we've rejected really solid resistance on the daily chart. So around, what is that, 0.636. Price is holding that very well. Of course, you've got some solid support below us, around 0.615. Essentially, we've kind of been up and down between those two levels. I did say if price does break out of this, I will be pretty bullish at that point, because a solid break above the swing high would convince me that, okay, we've had a big bearish move, price is consolidated, and now we're kind of reverse. So that will kind of convince me of that reversal. A solid break to the upside, but of course, we have not done that. At the moment, resistance is still holding, and I'm expecting a bit of a push to the downside there for Aussie dollar, back into support, back into the low end of the range, and possibly, again, another bounce as well. So there could be some nice entries to take advantage of, but as I drop to the 4-hour chart, very, very rough price action at the moment, so I wouldn't try and do anything inside of that. Perhaps a solid break of that low can probably give us a push back into support here, or even if you can push back into resistance, reject it, that would be a nice place for a short as well. But yeah, price action is looking very, very sideways, so I would avoid getting involved there. Ends the USD, same situation here as well. Very, very flat. This one respected some levels on the daily and weekly chart very well. Got a massive swing low on the left. You can see in the weekly chart, which is providing a lot of wicks into that area, especially last week's candle, nice piercing wick to the upside. We pull back, close bearish. So again, there's a good chance we could probably roll over, come back and test support around 0.556. Drop into the daily chart as well. You can see the past few days have just been very sideways. So again, possibly a strong break of that consolidation will be the catalyst to get us on the move. So something like that. And then we could be looking for some pullbacks and continuations. But yeah, I'm not really convinced at all. Almost looks like a head and shoulder pattern to me, with that kind of being the neckline. And as we're failing at the highs, I would expect a pretty big move down. And again, if USD is going to be strong, that should help out that move as well. And then, of course, you got your lovely gold, which was looking very, very bullish this morning, breaking to the upside. We're having a bit of a pullback at the moment. We're finding some resistance around 30.75, I suppose, 30.80, coming back into some minor psychological levels there. I did point out yesterday that 3100 is probably the next big target for gold. And of course, we have smashed through the high like it was nothing. And I do think 3100 is looking likely to be hit next. If you can get some pullbacks in gold, then you're looking good. Probably on the lower time frames, probably 30-minute chart. Perhaps a retest of the high there could look good. But the way I see it, gold is looking extremely bullish. No real signs of slowing down. Overall trend is still very much to the upside. Higher time frames still showing a lot of momentum there as well. So I would only be looking to buy this one, at least for now anyway. And yeah, we got the next big psychological level at 3100. And of course, silver, which I'm currently still long on this one. Nice move to the upside there as well. Really strong, solid close. On the daily chart, I'm looking to see if we can get past the wick high here at 34.8. Targets roughly around 35. I have moved stops to break even, so there's no risk on the trade anymore. I'm just gonna let price do its thing. If it does come back and take me at break even, that's fine. We've cleared some highs now, so if price does come back to these prices, I don't really want to be in the trade anymore because that means momentum has been lost anyway. So I'd rather just look for re-entries. But if silver can keep pushing, great. I'll start looking to trail my stop loss and look to secure some profit around 35 there. But yeah, gold, really nice break to the upside. That's looking pretty bullish. I expect silver to follow suit. I think these highs here are looking very likely to be taken out. And yeah, it's going to hold and see what we can do.